Patel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I would like to put on record my particular and personal thanks to the Secretary of State and also to ministers for the engagement and the very honest and frank engagement that they've had with colleagues, but also bereaved families, and listened to the concerns. And it is my constituent, actually, Melanie Leahy, who is also the constituent of my right honourable friend at one stage from Malden, who brought this to our attention and to the attention of the Secretary of State. She deserves a lot of support for the way in which she's conducted herself. None of us would want to go through the sheer anguish and the personal trauma that she has experienced, and we owe a lot to her and others who've come forward. And with that, Madam Deputy Speaker, there are still something like 80 plus families that did not engage with the inquiry as it stood right now under Dr. Stratty. And I do want to give my personal tribute to Dr. Stratty as well. The statutory inquiry will give them the confidence and the courage now to come forward and to speak up and share what will be deeply harrowing evidence. I think we should be very frank about that with the new statutory inquiry. So can the Secretary of State perhaps just expand upon how existing evidence received to Dr. Stratty's inquiry will be treated? I know he said he'll come back to the House about the processes going forward. We're interested in the terms of reference in particular of the inquiry. But also, importantly, and I think this is important for bereaved families, what measures will be in place to support the evidence coming forward? Because there have been too many barriers for families, and if I may say so, others who have been employed by EPUT to come forward and give evidence, and then what involvement the families will have when it comes to drawing up the terms of reference, because they're the ones that need confidence in this process. And again, I just want to give my thanks to Dr. Stratty, but also my personal thanks to the Secretary of State and ministers for their engagement.
Well, thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. What was very compelling in my discussion with my right honourable friend and with colleagues on this issue was the compassion they showed and the way they championed the family voice in the discussions that I had with them. And I absolutely agree with my right honourable friend that it is important that families now take confidence from the decision to move this onto a statutory footing, to come forward with their evidence, and I know she plays an active part in that. As part of that discussion, of course we want families to be part of that discussion in terms of the terms of reference, as indeed I know with her significant experience she is keen to do, and we're very keen to engage with her on that. She's absolutely right to highlight the evidence that's already been gathered through the excellent work of Dr. Stratty. I had a meeting with her yesterday to ensure that we are capturing that as part of the work that is moving forward. And can I just reinforce her point that I hope families will now take confidence from the announcement today, and those families that have not to date come forward will be able to do so. And I know in my right honourable friend they will have a resolute champion in supporting them as they come forward.